I was doing work for O2 through a subcontractor at the time, and we weren't unionised. But then people moved from O2 to us, or people who previously had worked at O2 moved to us. The O2 like in-house call centre was unionised. They did have a bargain agreement with the CW, and they got like £3 extra an hour.
Wow.
Like, well, it shows you like the extra that you get from being a union, just on kind of a basic level.
Wow.
And I like, and she was there telling people that she earned more for O2, and I was like, it's because of the union. No one fucking listened to me.
Oh, well, it rings a bell for me. Nobody listening to me. Tom Nestor. Anyway, I'm right. But right, so what should we say? Should we say hello? All right, idiots.
All right, idiots.
All right, idiots.
There you go. See, that's the so the intro is the title. It's almost as if I'm a creative genius, isn't it?
We have an actual intelligent guest.
We
today.
do. We again. Yeah.
Sorry, Montague.
Sorry, Mr. Montague, but he's intelligent.
Yeah.
We've had two. Like, I don't know how it's going to go out because I've not autismed it yet. But we've had two intelligent guests back to back, and I'm dreading coming back here speaking to Tom Nestor on Saturday. But what about like I don't know, like fuck off. I couldn't think of it.
But we did put the clip out of us talking about Trump and Venezuela, and the first comment immediately was no Tom Nestor.
No.
Oh.
You'll get what you're given. Helena /NoJusticeMTG.
So that's me. That's
There
me.
we go. Where does that come from, by the way? Because
So it was my name. No Justice was my username on Magic the Gathering online for like a decade.
superb autism.
And then when I started streaming, like playing Magic the Gathering, but then that kind of stopped doing that in 2020 or so. And this was at the time when political streaming started being a big thing. Hassan was just kind of, his channel was blowing up in 2020, 2021. So I thought, well, politics is the only other thing I'm really like kind of passionate about. So I'll start that, seeing as the Magic the Gathering stuff's kind of drying up. And just kind of went on leaps and bounds from there.
There you go. TISM, the immortal science of Marxism.
It's true. It's true.
TISM.
I mean, it is weird looking at just like just how many autistic people just end up turning into Marx.
We're right though.
I think it's because we're outside. We're sort of outsiders, and we're looking in, and we're looking at the things structurally. Maybe that's part of
this
the
is
reason.
proper men's mental health. None of this Tom Skinner fucking
Yeah.
fascism nonsense. Oh, come on, man. Okay. That's not his voice, is it? But come on a fucking walk with me, Dad. It's fucking apple and pears. Fuck off, you cunt.
Yeah. I mean, but like,
We'll go down the Reichstag and burn it down.
James Allen was obviously did that
Yes,
sketch,
friend of the show, James Allen. I
where
love
he
saying
was,
that as well.
yeah, friend of the show, where he was like he sort of mocked it, and he was like, you know, targeted as a big pile-on.
And as I introduced you to James is the scaredest man of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's oh, do they mean that? Just fuck off. Just
but
don't worry about it.
the people that were attacking him would call mental health services woke anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
this is the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to like actually take this seriously, or do you just want to kind of use it as a veneer of like legitimacy to promote the far right?
It's a way of like. It's just a way of that is the mental health. That's why I call it mental health, because it's like it's just a fail-safe excuse, isn't it?
Remember
mental
Christian
laundering.
Calgi, right? When Christian Calgi said that Zara Sultana should be deported, but this public statement going, I'm having a real men's mental health problem, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, that's not an excuse for racism.
That set me off as well, because that's my Zara. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very often. I've seen even like accounts that tweet about football, like who like have maybe said a stupid
Said something unexcusably racist,
or just stupid football opinions, right? Which then get like kind of
battered,
like, tweet like copy and pasted and like whatever, and then they say I'm taking a break to work on my mental health. It's like
fuck off, mate. Yeah.
Well, what's
And
frustrating
they never actually take a break either.
No, absolutely not. Again, it's always a cop out, which is a shame, because the men's mental health is a really fucking big issue.
Yeah, of course.
And people who denigrate it by cheapenizing it cheapenize off.
See, this is what we don't need to worry. This is another thing we don't need to worry about. I said unexcusable a minute ago. That's not technically correct grammar, but that's why I like writing things down. But anyway.
But yeah, like when they cheapen it by using it as a gotcha get out clause of any shit behaviour that they do.
Yeah.
It undermines the whole movement, and it's really frustrating because there's mental health problems everywhere. There's a society mental health problem because fucking neoliberalism, right?
But yeah, perfect. It's just like Not to say that they're too stupid. Some of them are too stupid to realise. But it's like a lot of, as a man who has a brain, allegedly, my mental does get damaged sometimes. You feel a bit miserable. But the reason is because you ain't got enough fucking money. And you go, I've got to do this in the end. I've got to do that next week. Can't afford to do that. I've got to take my kids. My kids are fucking whinging at me because I've got nothing to do. Oh, I can't do that. So it's basically, if you had more money, you'd be happier.
Well, I think the three big things I always think about when it comes to this is there's not, people don't have enough money. Their standard of living is too low. They've not got any community. They're atomized, and they're not got enough purpose because, well, again, we were talking about deindustrialization before we started. I'm just like, well, if all people doing is humping shit for Uber Eats every day, if that's the totality of the kind of vocational access for young people in this country, of course they're going to have mental health problems. Of course you have mental health problems if you're driving around pissing in bottles for Amazon. Of course you have mental health problems if you're wearing an ankle tag in a fulfillment fucking centre. Of course you are.
Well, as we were talking about telesales, £2 Patreon, plug in, always, whichever one. I need to stop doing that because I do it about 500,000 times. And then because I can't be bothered to edit it,
just ends up
it just goes in the way. So it's pointless. The telesales chat we had, that is a crime. Telesales is a crime against humanity, genuinely. Like being forced over and over and over and over and over again to have the same conversation. How is that?
Yeah, it is absolutely mind-numbing. Also, what was interesting for me as well is that nothing explained Marxism to me more perfectly than looking at my revenue I was making as a salesperson and realising how much of that I was getting paid and how much of that was going to the nameless corporation I worked for at the time.
Yeah, I used to say that I have had, Helena, as Matt Zarb knows, as I've probably said before, I have had probably... I'm 28, I started working when I was 16. I've probably had at least 11 jobs, 12, more than that. Anyway, mostly telesales because I couldn't be asked. So I always wanted to do my creative stuff, you know what I mean? So I couldn't be asked committing to a fucking, I'll do this. I did do like one job for 5 years, but that was in lockdown. I was at home and I could blag it and they didn't track my calls. So I just lied. Like what? But thank you, HSS. Yeah. So one of the first ones I had was a commercial estate agent, and it was like selling businesses, and all of that. So I had to look through the fucking like books and that. I'm like 18 at this time. Why are you giving me this responsibility? And go, but like, oh, you're like. Because they've been cooking the books for 30, 40 years, they go, oh, well, this business makes millions a year. Yes, well, on paper, Darren, it says you make 11 grand a year. And then they had a chart of like how much money you earn, like how much commission you earn. Oh, Fionn, you did you made us 200 grand in profit this month. Well, that's funny because I'm getting paid £1,100. Eh? Oh.
That's what I remember literally saying one time to one of my bosses. I'm just like, no, I pay your wages. I'm the one on selling the product. You're the one sitting there doing if I don't sell products, there's no money this company makes to pay your wages. So and they got very angry with me, but it's true, right?
Yeah. But like, I have a business. And
counter-revolutionary.
Yeah,
must be purged.
Bourgeois.
So this is the thing, right? So this
Matt Zarb, capitalist.
This. I mean, yeah, there we go. Yeah, get it out of your system. But this is the thing. Like, I try to. We've got a head count of 18 in the company. It's growing. I don't think that's like necessarily a good thing that it's growing because it means that more people need gambling blocking software, but that is the reality. There is a demand for it. But the idea that like I would overlook the fact that the staff in the company are the ones that are actually driving the value. I'm just an administrator, right? Like as an owner of the business, I don't actually have the skills required I can manage, whatever that is, but I don't have like the skills required to build something, build software or like. So this idea that like companies have for a long time got away with like really downplaying and denigrating what goes into building the value in the companies. That's really, it really is, it has fascinated me as a kind of, as I've gone on this sort of journey trying to build this business.
Sound like you're on Strictly there.
Yeah.
On my journey.
Yeah, no,
Tom Skinner.
no, I mean yeah. No, I mean it's true. Like it's not something that I sort of ever thought I'd do, and as I've gone through this like process, journey, whatever you want to call it, it's become evident to me that like I think a lot of people in Britain, through no fault of their own, it's just the reality of like the culture or whatever it is, for whatever reason, they undervalue how important they are to the companies in driving profit. And like what you've said is not what you would normally hear from people. People, I think, are very like I don't think they have this problem in America. Like in America, you have the downside of flexible labor markets, which is you could get fired on the spot, you're fired. But that means that you can also quit on the spot, and you can also say, right, I know what value I bring. I did do this at Telesales. I can quit. Bye. And I'm off. And if you want to keep me, you got to pay me more. Otherwise, I'm going to go and get a job somewhere else, and they'll and I'll get what I'm worth, right? And I don't feel like we've got that. I mean, obviously, the job market is the context, and like that's a structural inhibitor to that here. But like, I don't think we have that same mentality. We've got almost the worst of all worlds. We've got no unionization, which no collective bargaining, and no like regulated labour markets, properly regulated labour markets. But we've also not got the potential upside of that, which they have in America. And that's why I think wages are so low. I feel like wages in this country across the board should be much, much higher. And I've tried to reflect that in my business. In my business, people are paid well, that everything is relatively equitably distributed in terms of profits and in terms of like revenues. And I want to keep everyone in the business.
I mean, it reminds you of the Dan Price thing, right? The guy the CEO of Gravity Payments, was it? Who cut his own wages by like 90%. So he could
pay everyone 70 grand a year.
Yeah, to pay everybody like double what they were earning before. And it increased productivity, increased work happiness, it decreased their level of churn because it make people actually feel valued in terms of the business that they were a part of. And I think there's a really salient point that you made that, like Matt Bruenig, he's a socialist economist, he talks a lot about how like the wage setting model, that's a function of statecraft, right? Like your state chooses how wages are set. And in America and in the UK, it's done on an individual one-to-one basis between employer and employee. And if you look at the Nordic countries, it's a collaboration between very large trade unions and very large kind of consortia of businesses in different sectors. And they set wages collectively, right? And as you say, there is a dichotomy where you can be really, really individually driven and get really far ahead in America, because if you go out and know your worth and you bargain heavily, there's a culture that respects that and will give you the pay rise if you ask for it, and if you can show that if you show that you've justified it. And when if you've got a huge collective bargaining, sectoral bargaining agreements, no one has to worry about that. They do actually have quite flexible labour markets too. Part of the kind of social contract they have in the Nordic countries is that we have these strong labour protections, we have these strong bargaining rights that gets you good wages. But if you're not productive, then companies can just fire you on the spot,
right?
Because there's a strong safety net as well. Because if you do get fired, you got a massive safety net from the welfare state that you pay into as well. And we have literally none of these things. And what we have is just, that's why we've seen record profits. We see businesses taking the piss in this country because they know that we're a serf mentality population.
Yeah.
It's serf mentality.